Yeah, shout out to Kelly Oubre for being consistent in these last few games. Um, but yeah, like I said, the Sixers they went on a 6-0 run, and then Orlando responded with the 5-0 run. I mean, KCP he had a big three to stop the bleed, and then he had a layup going down the lane. But both teams, in the first 3-4 minutes, both teams were five for 9 from the field, and guys like Yabusele was just in attack mode, right? He was just getting the ball, just driving down low, and that's something that I like to see from him because when Yabusele attacks, right? Yeah, like he can definitely when teams are respecting him from the 3-point line, he can definitely attack those closeouts and get to the basket. And we all know he can finish strong at the rim, right? He can finish strong at the rim. So when he was in attack mode, I really loved it because it was putting pressure on the Orlando Magic's interior. And Orlando, they have the big bodies, right? They have the big players, they have the big bodies over there. Almost the smallest guy on that team was like what 6'5". Like Jalen Suggs is 6 foot. Jalen Suggs is 6'5", and then KCP is also 6'5". So that's the smallest guy they have on the court. And in the Sixers, we have a midget backcourt, right? We have a midget backcourt. And one thing I've been hearing people use the word midget backcourt. Y'all got to give me my credit. Y'all got to give me my credit. I invented it. Every time you use it, just cite your source and just put DFJ hoops in parentheses. No, but that was just a joke. But yeah, the Sixers have a little backcourt, and that really hurts. It hurts us in terms of your defense and what you're trying to do in defense. And sometimes these guys get caught on switches to some of these bigger guys, right? I saw multiple times Jared McCain trying to contain Franz Wagner, right? Franz is just he's 6'10", 6'11", and he's a big body. And you're telling a 6'2", 6'3" individual to stop him. It's just not gonna happen, right? It's just not gonna happen. And they took advantage of it. And shout out to Franz. Really good game from him. Franz was 34 points. 35 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists. One block. Super efficient from the field. Didn't really shoot the 3-pointer that good, but he made all his free throws, and that's another thing, right? The free throws really hurt the Sixers as a team. I mean, I saw Jared McCain. He got fouled on the 3-pointer, and then he got to the free throw line. And Jared McCain is a very good. He's a very good free throw shooter, right? He's a very good free throw shooter, but he gets to the line and he misses his first 2 free throws, and I was just surprised. But the Sixers as a team didn't really shoot the free throws that good. Every time Ricky Council got there, he split it a pair, right? He attempted he attempted 4 free throws, and 6 free throws, and I think on 2 trips he splitted those free throws. So that right there hurt the Sixers' chances, because you lost by only 4 points. So had you had made these free throws, you probably give yourself a chance to win, right? Kelly Oubre splitted free throws. Yabusele split the free throws. Like I said, Jeremy Kane had 3 free throws and split. Only made one of them. And then Caleb Martin came off the bench. He also split the free throws. And Caleb has just been, I don't, I don't even want to go off on him. But the Sixers, how the first quarter was going, I thought they were going to get blown out because Orlando was just getting to their spots and they were just scoring so effortlessly. And the points, like the looks that they were getting, was just like, yeah, they're just gonna make it because they have the bigger bodies, they have the bigger guys. They're attacking you in the interior. They're getting these offensive rebounds and they're getting second chance opportunities off of those. So those opportunities right there really helped them a lot, right? Because you had their front court is so bigger than the Sixers front court, right? They had Franz, who's 6'10", right? They had Wendell Carter Jr., who's also 6'10", and then you had Goga Batadze. I don't want to mess up his name, but Batadze is also like what 6'10", 6'11". So that's a big front court, right? As opposed to the Sixers, you're playing Kelly Oubre, who's 6'7", and then KJ, who's 6'7", and then Yabusele, who's 6'8", right? So that's a huge battle that the Sixers have to go against. But the Sixers, like I said, not a very good first quarter, and just putting up only 22 points that really hurt the Sixers a lot. But there's some good plays that I saw that was really interesting to me. I saw Adem Bona check into the game, and every time he comes in, you're gonna get some elites or some great hustle, some great defensive plays here or there. Now he's gonna foul. right? He's gonna get called for foul. So that's something that you need to you need to watch out for. But he doesn't give up on any plays. He tries to, contest at the rim as vertical as possible. He tries to, put pressure on the rim interior and be on guys, box guys out, and just have a body on somebody at all times. That's something that Adem Bona is always gonna do. But like I said, he's definitely gonna foul. And on 2 defensive possessions, he fouled, back to back. And I thought Nick Nurse was gonna bench him, but Nick Nurse did not bench him, and he still kept him in the game. And even though he picked up 2 fouls, he was still aggressive on defense. But it was just not enough, right? Because you had these 6'10", 6'11" guys, and then you had Jonathan Isaac, who came into the game, and then he was also getting offensive rebounds. And on the other side, he was also blocking shots, right? I think he blocked KJ Martin at the rim, and then he blocked somebody else. I forgot, but Jonathan Isaac came off the bench, and he was causing damage to the Sixers, on both sides of the floor. And Jonathan Isaac, he's a very good underrated rim protector. People don't really give him enough credit for that, but I will give him credit for it. But the Sixers, you know, get into the end in the first, like their offense went cold, and that's where Magic was getting these easy opportunities where it's just Franz, he'll put his head down and just go straight to the rim, and then it's just like you can contest him, but it's just not gonna affect him because you have little guys out there on the floor, right? Um, but yeah, they ended the quarter 34-22, Sixers down by 12, and then I need to say something about Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey has been so atrocious to start this season off, right? In terms of he's giving you production, but it's not really efficient. I think he's been in the shooting slump for a while now. He's only had 2 games that he was really efficient from the field, like really efficient from the field. But other than that, he hasn't shot the ball that good, right? From the 3-point line, it's been terrible for him, right? And against Charlotte, he was 1 for 7 from the 3-point line. And then I did, predict that he was going to have a good game, but unfortunately, I was wrong. He still struggled in this game, shooting the 3-pointers. Now he doesn't get the calls when he drives to the rim, so sometimes that really can affect. It can really affect anybody because if you're driving, like you're constantly putting pressure on the rim, and you're not getting the calls, you're getting hacked, you're getting fouled, you're getting slapped on the arm, and you're not getting those foul calls. Guess what? Guys stop and they just start chucking up threes. And that's something that Maxey was, he was trying to do, but it's just that the 3-point line was not his friend last night, right? And it hasn't been his friend so far this season. So, I think Maxey needs to keep his head up, and he's getting a lot of criticism, especially from the fan base. And Maxey's not that guy. I told y'all Maxey ain't this. Maxey ain't that dude. And it's like, hold on. When you say Maxey's not that dude, like, what are you talking about? Because my expectations of Maxey is a guy who's an all-star caliber player who can complement a superstar caliber talent, right? I don't think Maxey is going to be as good as Steph Curry. I don't think he's going to be as good as Luka. I don't think he's going to be as good as some of these other players. So when y'all say that, it's just like, what are you talking about, right? If that's your expectations of him, then I guess you got to limit your expectations because that's not him. That's not going to be him. He can't carry a team on a night-to-night basis, right? But he can complement a best player or a superstar caliber talent in order to get you wins and help you be competitive and hopefully just compete in the playoffs. That's my expectations of him, right? So I don't know what y'all be saying and just flip-flopping, and it's like a guy cannot have an off shooting night, right? I've seen Steph Curry, who's the greatest shooter of all time. We've seen him have multiple games where he's just in a shooting slump, right? I remember back in 2022 when he was getting ready to break the 3-point record. Like he went on a stretch where he was just shooting tour dates, right? He played against us, and I remember Matisse Thybulle had him in a straight jacket, right? And he went like 3 for 14, 3 for 15, 3 for 16 from the field, something crazy like that. So I think guys need to chill out on Maxey. Yeah, you can criticize him. I'm not saying don't criticize him, but the expectations that you have of him is just like it's just unrealistic, right? It's just unrealistic. So, but that's it. I think Maxey's gonna be fine. The thing is that Maxey has been, he's had seasons where he was just like shooting the 3-pointer very, very good. He's had seasons where he was top 3 in terms of shooting percentages, right? With Luke Kennard, Desmond Bain, and then he was third, right? I can't remember what season that was, but I know he had a season like that, right? And he was shooting a lot of threes, like 6 threes, 5 threes. That's good enough. That's good enough volume, right? But I think, just like I said, I think he's in a slump. He's definitely going to come out of it, and I think against Orlando on Friday, I think he's definitely going to have a much better game than he did tonight. But I mean, last night, because last night was the 3-point line was not his friend. But let's continue. The Sixers head into the second quarter, and we saw Reggie Jackson check in, and I just had my head in my hand because I was like, oh my God, here we go again. We're having this. This is happening all over again, right? Because Reggie Jackson. Let's be real. I mean, Reggie can hit a shot from time to time, but the defense, the defense, the pace, and the effort is just not going to be there, right? If he's open, yeah, he can definitely take a shot. He can make a shot, but the overall play is just not going to be there, right? But Nick Nurse being Nick Nurse, just put him in the game. And that lineup they had out there really helped the Sixers, and that's when Jared McCain was, they had Maxey on the bench at the time, right? So they had Jared McCain running the offense, being the orchestrator, and being the best player on the team. I mean, Jared McCain has been the best player on this team from start. I mean, for the first 20 games, he's been the best player on this. He's been the most consistent player. Let me put it that way. He's been the most consistent player on the Sixers unit. And it's not Maxey, it's not George, because George hasn't played enough games, and it damn sure isn't Embiid, because Embiid has only played only 4. Right, Embiid has only played only 4 games. So, I think it's safe to say that Jared McCain has been the best player for the Sixers unit. And it's just funny because who would have thought that a rookie that the Sixers drafted, and everybody was against that draft pick, who would have thought that he would be the best player on this team, right? So, but shout out to Jared McCain. He helped keep the Sixers afloat in that second quarter. Bucket after bucket. Even though he was going up against some of the best defenders in the game. The Magic I think that they're top 5 in defense, right? Along with the long pause, but these players they're super athletic. I mean, KCP, one of the best defenders. Jalen Suggs, even though he's a dirty player, dirty defender, he's still elite defensively. But Jared McCain still, was being aggressive, was getting to his spots, was making plays, finding guys from the 3-point line. And the Sixers were definitely what you call it. The Sixers were making a run, and that's where Orlando Magic. That's when their offense went cold, where they weren't really making anything. Right now, the Sixers they threw out a zone that really, I think it threw them off a little bit. But even though the Sixers were playing zone, like Jonathan Isaac was still making threes. I mean, he's like I said, he's 6'10", 6'11". So the guys that we had out there cannot really fully contest him. Right, even if you contest him, like he's not going to see your contest. He's just going to rise and shoot over the top of you. Right, so. look at Thomas right here. Yeah, Thomas pop your shit, bro. But just Atlanta's been good. But the Clippers, oh my goodness. I haven't seen an ass whipping like that in a long time. I ain't seen anything like that in a long time. Right? But it was a back-to-back, so they get an excuse. They get a pass for it. Yeah, shout out to Thomas though. But the Sixers, they threw out a zone, and that really threw them off a little bit. It threw their offense off a little bit because they weren't really getting easy dribble penetrations like that. But they were able to move the ball around the 3-point line, and they were able to score, make threes. Like I said, Jonathan Isaac made a couple threes in that time span. He said half the Clippers was out. What you expect? Norman Powell and Kawhi Leonard didn't play. Who else didn't play? I know I didn't see Norman Powell and Norman Powell and Kawhi Leonard, but I thought I saw everybody else. But I could be wrong, but yeah, that was a tough. Not scoring 20 points in 3 quarters. That's come on, man, get the fuck out of here, bro. Man, this nigga said KPJ. Man, get out of here, bro. But yeah. So the Sixers, like I said, they kept chipping, they kept trying to come back and close the gap, because like I said, they were down by 12 points, but McCain being who he is, was still being aggressive, still being okay. T-Man, yeah, I'll give you T-Man, but I ain't giving you no KPJ, bro. Come on, bro. But like I said, they kept fighting and fighting, and they were being aggressive on defense, and that's where they were getting most of their offensive rebounds at. That's where KJ Martin and Yabusele. Now Yabusele has been, he has been good. Now he's undersized, so he's not a good defender, so he's not really going to give you like consistent effort like that. But I mean, I think that the NBA wanted the Sixers to lose anyway. So there's a play where he goes for a charge, and they call they call a blocking foul, but they review it. I thought that he was in perfect position for a charge, but they still said it was an unsuccessful challenge, and the Sixers lost their timeout. And Thomas, I don't care if everybody was out. Not scoring 20 points in any quarter is bad. For the first 3 quarters is bad. I don't give a fuck. You had James Harden out there. You had Zubac out there, who you said Zubac is more skilled than Joel Embiid. I don't care if you had half your team out. You were trash offensively. James Harden was trash. Everybody else was trash. Give a fuck. Fuck you talking about. I don't care if the whole rotation was out. If you don't score 20 points in this NBA, you're trash. Your offense is trash. But yeah, that was just by the way. That was just by the way. But like I said, the Sixers, they kept, closing, keeping this game close, and they eventually tied the game up at 53. Maxey checked in at the 5-minute mark, and the Sixers kept making shots and never said Zubac is more skilled. I got it on my Instagram. Don't make me do it. Do not make me do it. And I took a screenshot. So if you think you're gonna go up the messages and go delete it, I took a screenshot of it. So sorry, buddy. Sorry, Tommy. I got a picture of it. You want me to put it on the screen? I will do it for you. You said Zubac was more skilled than Embiid. You did say that, bro. Zubac has better footwork, low post moves. Embiid is a better scorer. So you're saying that Zubac has better footwork and better post moves than Embiid. Now I'm not even gonna answer this because it's just egregious, right? He's so skilled, but finish with a triple single. Man, get out of here, bro. All right, Thomas, if you say so, bro. If you say so. But yeah, Sixers, they battled like on both sides of the floor, offensively, defensively, even though they were super undersized, but they were still putting bodies on guys, and still making shots. And then Tyrese Maxey has a driving layup, and he ties the game at 53. Right, he ties the game at 53. And the second quarter wasn't really a good quarter from the Magic. Right, it wasn't really good from them. They were they had multiple empty offensive trips, on the other side, but defensively they were solid, right? They were contesting guys, making it difficult for guys. But it's just that, Jared McCain he was just on another level, in terms of how good he was offensively, and getting to his spots, making plays for other guys, and then the other guys also were getting offensive rebounds that really helped the Sixers capitalize on those opportunities and get second chance opportunities. Right, so it was a collective effort from on both sides of the floor. Shout out to Yabusele. He played a very good game defensively, and also he did make shots. And then I have to say Kelly Oubre also was making shots and also playing some good defense. But I mean, Kelly Oubre, you can't rely on him to win you a game. Ultimately, it comes down to the best player. And if the best player doesn't step up, then you're not really going to do anything, right? You're not going to do anything. Man, I still can't believe that Thomas really believes that Zubac has better footwork and better post moves than Embiid. This is just, hey. Oh my God. But hey, it's all good though. I mean, Thomas, I'll tell you this though. I see Embiid getting compared to Hakeem Olajuwon, but I ain't never heard anybody compare Zubac's footwork to Hakeem Olajuwon. Now, Hakeem has better footwork than Embiid, right? I'm not going to say that, but at least Embiid draws comparisons to Hakeem Olajuwon. Has Zubac ever drew comparisons to Hakeem? If he has, show me the video or show me the article or whatever. But yeah, the Sixers, it's both teams go into the half at 53 points. They had the same amount of rebounds. I remember it was at 22. They had the same amount of 3-pointers made at 6, right? Both teams made 6 3-pointers. But they head into the third, and the Sixers, they take the lead. They take the lead in the third quarter on the first possession, right? And Orlando, they didn't really help themselves because they had back-to-back turnovers. So that really allowed the Sixers to capitalize, right? Back-to-back turnovers, like live ball turnovers, not no offensive fouls or stepping on the stepping on the 3-point line and turning the balls over. But the Sixers, they capitalize off those turnovers, and they go on a 6-2 run, right? Scoring on their last 3 possessions. And there's something that I realized in that third frame, and it was that Jared McCain was really attacking Wendell Carter Jr. from the perimeter. Right now, Wendell, he's a good rim protector, good interior presence himself. Embiid don't have a lot of post moves, just a good shooter and a flopper. But actual footwork, it's true. Embiid is just a good shooter. Embiid don't even play low post. That's facts. Okay, Thomas. I agree. I agree with you. I agree. I agree. But I mean, we got the bet. I mean, we had a bet that Zubac ain't gonna average 20. So I mean, last night didn't really help him. Last night didn't really help him either. So I just think at this point, yeah, just just go ahead. Just go ahead and what I'm saying, just send the bread, bro. But yeah, like I said, Jared McCain was attacking Wendell off the dribble from the perimeter, and that was something that I saw Maxey also do, and I really wanted them to go at him because he can't really keep up with these guys. These guys are so fast from the perimeter, and they can just get past him within the blink of an eye. And I don't know why they kept leaving him out there like that, but the Sixers, they attacked Orlando through through Wendell, and that really, it really helped them get a lot of quality looks. They had a lot of driving kicks. Um, Orlando would, their defense would collapse and try to stop the ball handler, and just a kick out pass and then an extra pass to somebody on the wing, and then they were making shots like that. Right, Yabusele made a shot like that. Kelly Oubre made a shot like that, and even Caleb Martin. I mean, Caleb plays like he's playing at a park, right? He plays basketball like he's at a park. Most of his shots are off balance. And, sometimes he's able to make those shots, right? He had a play where he drove down, came to a stop, pump fake, got the guy in there, and then, had a turnaround fadeaway shot, and he was able to make it. He got fouled, and that was like, a traditional 3-point play. So he had a couple good plays, but overall, the performance was just not good. Right, offensively it was not good. Had some terrible turnovers. Sloppy ball handling, telegraphing passes, and but he did make some shots that really helped us. He came off the bench, gave you 9 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists, 2 steals. But how many turnovers? Yeah, 2 turnovers. Like I said, those 2 turnovers really hurt the Sixers as they were in transition, right? And those were like, sloppy ball handling. And he still has a twitch in his shot, right? And I think he has a shoulder issue, right? He has maybe a back or shoulder, a neck issue that's really causing him to shoot the basketball like that, because he did say that he's dealing with something, but he didn't really want to tell what exactly that he's dealing with, right? He didn't want to give that information out there like that. So the Sixers, overall played a good third quarter, but Orlando, they also played a good third quarter where getting to the end, they started to go on a run, and they had some of these bigger guys, get some of these offensive. I think they started killing the Sixers with the offensive rebounds in the in the third frame, right? It started in the third and it just went all the way into the fourth, and that really hurt the Sixers. It really hurt the Sixers because you're giving them like multiple chances to score on possessions. Like, you're giving them extra possessions, and that was not in the Sixers' favor. But nonetheless, the Sixers, they still end the quarter in a tie, right? At the end of the third, it was tied at 77. And I mean, the last play, it was an out of bounds play, a baseline out of bounds play, and that was a great action, great play. Shout out to Nick Nurse for that play. Jerry McCain, it was like a screen-to-screen action where he flashed to the corner, got Anthony Black in the air on the pump fake, and then took a dribble, stepped aside, and then shot it, made it, and he just looked at, he just stared at the bench and kind of like me mugging them. But that was a great play and great veteran play from Jerry McCain as well, because somebody would have just went for the initial shot and that shot would have been blocked. But he pump faked and he sidestepped and he made the shot. So shout out to Jared McCain. But it was in the fourth where everything went south for the Sixers. When Orlando was making shots and they were just getting so many easy shots and easy opportunities, getting mismatches in the post, taking guys on from the perimeter. I think Anthony Black had like 3 straight screen. he'll call for the screen and then he'll just drive past whoever and just get to the basket and just lay the ball up, right? And Nick Nurse decided not to play Adem Bona, and that was a decision he went with. And I think there's I think it's an organizational thing not to play Bona extended minutes, right? I really believe that. I don't think it's just Nick Nurse, because Nick Nurse knows too much basketball to not play this guy, right? I just refuse to believe that. I refuse to believe it. But Thomas, I would like for you to come on the show and explain why Zubac has better footwork, or is better skill than Embiid. I definitely want to hear your logic. I want to hear your logic, and I'm gonna definitely clip it. So if you if you still here, bro, just ask for the link. I'll drop the link. But yeah, Nick Nurse did not play Bona, and he kept going small, and the Sixers were getting killed, on the offensive rebounds and stuff like that. And Ty does not, man, get the fuck out. I ain't even reading that shit, bro. Get out of here with that. Get out of here with that. He said, "Drop the link." I say no mas. Just give me 3 more minutes. But like I said, the Magic, they go on a run to start the fourth, and Caleb Martin, turnover, shooting an air ball, really hurt the Sixers, and then all of a sudden they go on a 10-2 run, right? So at that point they didn't have Maxey in the game, so Nick Nurse calls a timeout, gets Maxey in, but the Sixers, their offense just got stagnant, right? It was just like Maxey just let something happen, and everybody was just standing there, not moving, not cutting, not setting any screens. And it was just like, just play ISO ball. And, the ISO game is not going to work with Maxey. Maxey's he's not that good of an ISO player. So you can't really depend on Maxey to, bail you out in ISO situations like that. Now, if you have Paul George on the floor, now, Thomas, keep in mind, if you cap, I'm going to kick you off the show. If you lie, I'm kicking you off the show. So just have that in mind. But yeah, Orlando, they were able to, make easy shots, and Anthony Black, running layups, and really hurt the Sixers. And the Sixers tried to, they kept making shots. Maxey, was making shots, but it seemed like every time Maxey made a shot, they were able to answer back, right? Jalen Suggs, made plays at the end. Franz Wagner, being the best player on the floor, made plays for them, and help keep the lead alive. And once they created enough separation, they didn't give it up. Right, they didn't give it up. And Sixers, they tried, they battled, but it was just not enough. At the end of the play, at the end of the quarter, Sixers are down by 3. They inbound the basketball. Anthony Black fouls Maxey. Right? He just he catches him on the arm to prevent him from going up for the 3-pointer, right? Because at that point, you would rather let him shoot 2 free throws rather than give him a 3-point shot to tie the game. But he fouled him, and it was a clear foul, but they didn't call the foul, and that's why I was saying that they really wanted the Magic to win, because that was a clear foul. But who's to say? It was not in an upward motion, shooting motion. Even though Nick Nurse said that would have been 3 free throws, I felt like if they called that foul, it would have been on the floor. That means that Maxey would have to make those 2 free throws, or he was going to have to make one, miss the second one, and hope they get the offensive rebound. But you're not getting the offensive rebound with the caliber of players that Orlando had out there on the floor, right? It just wasn't going to happen. And they end up winning the game. But I hear people saying that Maxey was trying to play for the foul. He should have just settled and went for the 3. But one thing that y'all are not realizing is everything happens fast, right? Everything happens fast. So even if he had settled and got his feet set and went for the three, Anthony Black would have blocked him from behind, right? Bro, these guys are 6'7", 6'8", bro, with large wingspan. Pause. Right. So it was just gonna be an easy block for Anthony Black, anyways. But that's it. The Sixers lost by only 4 points. If you made your free throws, if you made most of your free throws, you probably are in this game. If Maxey steps up, you're probably in this game, right? If Nick Nurse had played certain guys at certain times, you probably win this game. But Sixers they lose this one. They fall they fall what 5-15 for the season. Yeah, it's very, very terrible. You don't like facts. You want to bet. Todd didn't say it multiple times. Want to bet chump. Tom is watching Zubac. Sometimes he don't even want the basketball. He's not establishing himself in the post to receive the basketball. So you can't blame Ty Lue for that. Maxey's a number 2. Sixers are asking him to be the first option with Embiid and PG load managing. Maxey will be fine when one of those actually play. Yeah, JS, I appreciate you for tapping, and I agree with you. And I mean, I'm in these Facebook groups, and they're saying that Maxey's this, Maxey ain't that guy, and I'm like, what's your expectations of him? Because if you think he's going to be as good as as good as Steph Curry, then you're wrong, because he's not going to be that. But as an all-star caliber player who can complement a superstar talent, he can absolutely do it. He can do it. He can give you. He can do it. He proved that he could do it in the playoffs. Now I know it was a one-time thing, but that's the only thing we can go off of. So, and he's had multiple playoffs in the past where he showed up. So, but I mean, as a superstar, no. As a first option, no. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. And if that's what people think of him, then you should lower your expectations of him. But Thomas, I'm gonna post this link, and when you lie, you going in the boom boom room. But I want to hear the logic that if it's a Zubac is more skilled than Joel Embiid. I want to hear this. So I'm gonna wait for you to come in, and I want to hear this logic. He said, "I never lied, or I never called one time in my Thomas. You lie all the time, bro. You cap all the time. You cap on PG. You cap on Russ. I'm criticizing Mo Bamba, and you're telling me Mo Bamba's making $2, but you didn't give a fuck when Russell Westbrook got to the Clippers the first time. You didn't care about what his salary was. You blamed him for the Clippers losing, and he was making way less than what Mo Bamba was doing, right? So that's a lie right there, right? That's a lie right there. That's you not keeping the same energy right there, and you picking and choosing, and then you're talking about Russell Westbrook is a loser his whole life. Okay. Mo Bamba has been a loser his whole life. Mo Bamba is a bust. What are you talking about? But yeah, hit the link. I don't like facts. All right, come drop your facts. But if you cap, you going in the boom boom room. But yeah, the link is right there, T. All right, here you go. All right, Thomas, I want to hear your logic on why Zubac is more skilled than Joel Embiid.
First of all, can you hear me? Because Showtime seems to think I got feedback out of my mic and out of my headsets. I'm trying to figure that out.
Yes, it sounds like an echo behind you.
Okay, I got to figure that out. I don't know how to figure that out. I thought it maybe just been his stream because I've never heard that before from none of y'all. So before I cook your ass and this other shit, I want to make sure you can hear me loud and clear. I don't want to hear no excuses talking about, oh, you was echoing, so it didn't make no sense. But I guess it is echoing. I just never heard that before. Nobody's ever told me that. I don't know if it's my headset or what, but all right. So first of all, I dropped 2 links in the chat already. Ty Lue is consistently admitting I don't get Zubac the ball. So therefore, that's exactly what I said. That if they give him the ball, which I predicted Ty Lue won't give him the ball. But I told you, I said, if they give him the ball, he will average 20. If they don't give him the ball, he won't see 20. Remember, I offered you, I reduced the bet down, right? because I told you I don't trust Ty Lue, or else I would have bet you more. Because you remember you wanted to bet 1,000. I said I'm not betting 1,000 because I don't trust the coach. So when you tell the story, like everybody else, tell the truth, tell the whole story. Don't tell a part of it. Well, you're gonna pay me. Tell the part of what I actually said. Like when I said the Clippers can beat Dallas, there's more to it than okay, the Clippers didn't beat Dallas. No, it's a whole story to that. They needed to move T-Man on to Kyrie, and they needed to feed Zubac the ball because Dallas had no answer. Then they could beat Dallas. And that's the whole story. The story ain't where the Clippers lost, you said they could beat Dallas. No, I said they can do this, this, and this if they address it this way, right? So Ty Lue, that's only 2 articles. He said it multiple times this year.
Hey,
so
Thomas, let me ask you a quick question real quick. So if you take T-Man off of Luka and you put T-Man on Kyrie, won't that mean that Luka goes off in the next game?
But it's possible. However, you have to play your percentages. All right, T-Man has Luka struggling, shooting 37%. If Luka shoots 37%, or you know how shooters get hot, right? Shooters also get cold, right? So just because you move T-Man don't mean that Luka's automatically going to get hot, because you still can address Luka with the combinations of Coffee, Paul George. Now, I'm not guaranteeing it's going to work. That's not what I'm saying. You have to listen. However, Luka was deferring that basketball to Kyrie way too much. Now, when Luka was playing other defenders, he wasn't deferring like that to Kyrie. Kyrie does have good games. He does have a good series here or there. And that's all that matters is for those 6 games, or those 7 games. So if you put Coffee or Paul George on Luka after T-Man has him struggling, there's a chance that Luka doesn't get hot right away. Remember, it's when I said make the switch, it was already game 4. There was only 3 games left. If you could have possibly got 1 or 2 bad games of Luka still shooting at 37% and T-Man locks up Kyrie, then you win those games. If Luka goes off for 50, but you locked up Curry, then you tip your cap, right? However, I said there needs to be 2 adjustments, not 1. One is you move T-Man on Kyrie because I saw Luka deferring the basketball. Everybody who's a Clipper fan saw Luka dunking Terrence Mann. We all saw it. Now, did he average 28 points? Yes. But he had the shot chuck to do it, hence the 37%, right? So if T-Man goes on Kyrie and Kyrie does not get that 40 ball and Luka does shoot 37 or 40%, and keep in mind, this is 37% from twos majority. We're not talking 37% from the three-point line because that's a good percentage. We're talking about twos. This guy couldn't make a shot from twos majority with some threes. So if he stays struggling, how T-Man had him struggling, and he holds Kyrie down, there's a good chance the Clippers walk out of that series with a W. However, on top of that, they needed to go through Zubac some more, which I didn't wait to game 4 to say. I said that after game 1. Because I saw Gafford. Gafford is strong enough to guard Zubac, but he's too small. Zubac was just shooting over the top of him. Lively was tall enough to alter the shots, but not strong enough to keep Zubac from getting low. So you had to have both to be successful, not one.
But Thomas, I just want to focus on Embiid and Zubac. Like you said, Zubac is more skilled or has.
Okay, well now you want to go to Embiid and Zubac. I was trying to answer your questions about what you said about Luka. So now you want to switch lanes. Let's switch lanes.
Now that's the reason why I want you on the show, because I want everybody to hear you saying that Zubac is more skilled than Embiid. So yeah, go ahead.
Zubac is not all the way around skilled than Embiid. What I said, he has better footwork and better low post moves than Embiid. Embiid's a better scorer because he's going to shoot the midi and the three and the jumpers and the flops. Those flops get Embiid fucking 8 to 15 points per game by themselves, right? And even if they're not all flops, they're fouls. So let's use flops and fouls. But 9 out of 10.
But Thomas, that's not true because Embiid's footwork is way better than Zubac. Embiid has a face-up game. He can jab. He can pump fake. He can hit you. He can hit you with the Euro step. Like, bro, stop doing this, bro.
Okay, the Euro step is part of in movement. Embiid does not face up nobody and take a Euro step to the rim. The Euro step is part of fast break, transition, secondary fast break moves where he catches the ball on the fly at the top of the key and flies down through the lane of Euro. That's not footwork. That's part of the Euro. The Euro
Thomas,
is part of the NBA.
Thomas, Embiid can catch the ball. All right, go ahead.
Hold on. Let me finish. Euro step is not a part of what I said. Low post moves is not Euro stepping on coming down here. Euro is a whole different conversation. I said Zubac has better low post moves. Why did I say those moves are going to make him a better scorer? I did not say that. I said he has better footwork and better moves, and let me explain it. Embiid part of and facing up to it is true. Embiid's low post moves they all zero round bully ball. He has some low post moves. Keep in mind, just because you have not as much as the other guy does not mean you have zero. Embiid has a decent footwork. Embiid is a better scorer, a lot better scorer. Facing up, you said facing up and jab stepping. That's not footwork. That's just part of the triple set. When I say footwork in low post moves, keep the conversation in low post moves. Catching the ball 20 foot from the basket, facing up is not a low post move. That's not what I said.
Thomas, Embiid can catch the ball on the block, like hit you with the spin, go up with finesse. Like, Thomas, stop this. Zubac does not do it.
He can do that. Zubac also has a spin move.
Zubac never did it.
Zubac does it all the time. He just don't get the ball. Here's the difference. Here's the go watch the tape. Zubac has highlights of catching the ball off the pick and roll in the middle of the paint, jabbing one way, drop stepping with a power drop step, and spin move and going the other way and ducking on everybody. This is the thing, though. Zubac does not get the ball 100 times a game to showcase this stuff. Therefore, it's really minimal what we get to see. However, keep in mind, I'm not saying he's a better scorer. I never said that. That's stupid.
We're not talking about scoring. We're not talking about scoring. We're talking about low post moves. Yeah, go ahead.
Right. I'm talking about low post moves. I'm not talking about Embiid catching the ball 20 foot from the basket in mid range. That's not a low post move. I spoke on low post means low block in the paint at the rim. Okay, so Zubac moves his footwork. Now let's go over his moves. We're gonna go off the simple shit first and get to the complicated shit. He catches the ball in the low block. He has a right hand and a left hand. Embiid don't have a left hand.
Embiid has all of them, Thomas. What are you talking about?
No, Embiid does not use his left hand on hook shots.
Embiid has a hook shot, has a baby hook. He can hit you with the left. He can hit you with the right. He can hit you with the head fake. Come on, Thomas, stop this.
He does not have a low post catching the ball. He uses his left hand at the rim, yes. Using but a hook shot like 7 feet from the basket, left-handed or right-handed, he does not do that. He uses his left hand when he gets close to the rim. Yes, I agree. But posting up, like, you understand what I'm talking about. Catching the ball at the block, outside the paint, and using both hands for hook shots, he does not do that. When he backs his way down,
what are you talking about?
Embiid does not shoot hook shots 8 feet from the rim with his left hand. No, he does not.
He does.
He bullies his way to the paint. No, he doesn't, Andre. He uses his left hand when he bullies his way down close to the rim. Yes, that's not what I'm speaking about. You have to understand the terminology of what I'm speaking. That son of a bitch does not touch the ball 8 feet from the basket and throw and spin over his right shoulder and use a left hook shot 8 feet from the rim. No, he does not. He does 3 feet from the rim. I would give you that. But Zubac also does it 3 feet from the rim, but he also uses both hands 8 feet from the basket as a hook shot. That is different than backing down. That's not what I'm saying. Now, let's go to his up and under game. He has an up and under game with both feet on both sides. Embiid also has that. I will give him that. But the hook shot with both hands, far away from the rim, Zubac has that. That does not make Zubac better than Embiid, so do not go there. That's not what I'm saying. I'm speaking low post moves. All right, so now he also has a spin move. Embiid has a spin move. I give you that.
Zubac don't have no
So
spin moves. Man, cut it out,
he
bro.
does have spin moves. He
Zubac
does it
don't
all
have
the
no
time.
spin move. Zubac does
Yes,
not.
he does.
He doesn't. He
Ask
doesn't
any
shoot.
Clipper fan.
He doesn't jab
Andre.
step. Hold on, Zubac doesn't jab step and shoot a fadeaway shot, turn over to his right or turn over to his left.
That's not the low post move.
That is a low post move. What are you talking about? So when Michael Jordan was dominating the post, when they said Michael Jordan got post moves, like what are they talking about?
Mid post. Jordan has a mid post game. I said low post. It's different, Andre. You understand that, right? It's like a 3-level score. You have scoring at the rim. You have scoring at 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 feet. Then you have scoring at 16, 18, 20, 23 feet, 30 feet, right? Curry has a long-range three-point shot. That is different than a regular-range three-point shot. That's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with you, Andre, on some of the shit you don't even understand. I'm agreeing with you on some of it. But the terminology, you have to be very specific on what I said. I didn't say mid-range post moves. Embiid has way more than Zubac. I agree with you. However, I said low. When I say low, I'm talking very deep in the post. I'm agreeing with you on other shit. You have to listen to what I'm saying. Now, back to what I said. Low post move. He has the right, he has the left hook, right? Okay. Embiid don't have the right and left at the low post block. He has it closer to the rim. We can also word that as extra low post, as in 1 or 2, 3 feet from the basket. Absolutely, he does. So Embiid has strengths over Zubac, a lot of them. And I'll never deny that. I'm not denying the Euro step. I'm not denying the mid-range jab. That's but the jab step, Andre, is called a triple threat position. To get more professional about what you're saying, that is a triple threat shit. Nobody uses a triple threat move to fucking 2 or 3 feet from the basket. They go with authority and quickness 2 or 3 feet from the basket because you're already so close to the rim. There's no time to be jab stepping because 2 or 3 feet from the rim, Andre, there's 3 seconds in the paint. If you start jabbing, you're going to get the whistle blown on. You don't have time for that. He also has the spin move. He also uses his left hand and right hand off the backboard low post moves. Embiid does use a right hand, but Embiid uses that the block. He uses the backboard, but not necessarily with his left hand on the hook shots. He also has the shimmy Hakeem shit that he admitted he learned that shit from watching millions of videos of Hakeem. He has that now. Now, keep in mind, I understand why you think what you think because, again, Ty Lue does not feature this.
Because he's not good enough. That's why. How about that? He's not good enough.
All
that's
the
why
time.
you don't feature
but remember what it's easy to remember what Embiid does because he gets the ball 900 times, so our memory is full of this shit. Zubac 5 or 6 times, and it's hard to remember that shit because there's so far and few between that we don't remember. So I understand
Thomas,
why you think what
Thomas,
you think.
He don't have the quote unquote post moves that you think he has, and that's just fact.
Okay, if he don't, Andre, then why is the coach that you say that I discredit? So you give the coach more credit than I do. The coach that you give more credit. Why am I dropping links in your chat of the coach that you credit a lot, admitting to the whole public world we need to play through him more? Go read those articles I dropped. It's quote, quote, end quote. It says in there, we need to play through center.
You know why he said that?
You know I know why he said that.
That's a politically correct thing to say. That's why he said that.
No, he said that because he knows he's fucking up by not doing that. Everybody will Clipper.
Go ahead.
Okay, so why don't he say? So why don't he say that about Mo Bamba then? Why does he not quote end quote professionally speak? Let's play through Mo Bamba more then.
Because Mo Bamba's a backup. Who the fuck plays for a backup center, bro?
Okay, that's my point. He specifically says fucking Zubac. Why does Nick Nurse not say I need to play through Embiid more? Because he already does it. There's no need to say something you already
Thomas,
do.
So Thomas, if he keeps saying we got to play through Zubac and he's not playing through Zubac, what does that tell you? He doesn't have the post moves that you're saying that he has. That's why.
But the difference, Andre, is you're trying to hold me to an opinion. It ain't opinion. It's on the fucking tape. It's just like, oh man, I screenshot old man on different podcasts. This man said Zubac was trash. He said Zubac has no move. Going back on all his words, saying feed Zubac the ball. Why? Because I told that fucker to go watch the tape. And the same thing I'm telling you, go watch the tape if you don't believe me. And I promise you come back with a different attitude, just like he came back with it. And he said what shit that you said. He said this son of a bitch is trash and needs to be off the fucking team. You, Andre, have never been stupid enough to say that. He was stupid enough to say that shit. He said off the team the son of a bitch sucks. Now he's in the middle of a game on somebody's podcast in the chat saying fees, and keep in mind, this motherfucker put it in capital letters. He was screaming it. He wasn't just saying it one time. That son of a bitch was screaming, feed Zubac the ball. Why? Because he went and watched the tape. That's all. And if you don't believe me, go watch the tape. And if you want to have a film session, we can. I don't know how we do it. You're better at the computer shit than I am. I don't know how we do it, but we can make a film of Zubac, all his moves one by one, and play it on your podcast for everybody to see. If you know how to do that, I'll be glad to join you and I'll help you do it. I don't know how to do it because I'm not that good at computer shit like you are. I've told you that a million times. But the moves are on the tape. The moves are in the game film. The moves are in the Dallas Mavericks series. The moves are all over the game film. However, it's far and few between. So I understand what you're saying. I get it. If I wasn't a Clipper fan, I probably would agree with you because we never get to see this shit. But his footwork and his low post moves are there. But he's not this scorer that Embiid is. I never said that. I never will say that because that's complete stupidity to everything that Zubac or any center besides Joker can score with Embiid because they cannot. Embiid has a big bag offense. I was just speaking on the low post. That's all I was speaking of.
Thomas, the man had 4 points last night, bro.
I understand that. I watched Embiid have single digits in the playoffs too. So what?
Thomas,
just because he had 4 points,
he had a lot of opportunities. He had a lot of opportunities and didn't capitalize. Bro, I'm watching Zubac, and he's not establishing position to receive the ball in the post. And that's the same. That's one of my biggest issues with Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis does the same shit. I gotta keep the same energy. Now, I'm not saying AD's on. I'm not saying AD's on Zubac. I mean, Zubac is on AD's level, but I'm saying that they don't get on the block and establish position and demand for the basketball as much as they should.
Okay, do you want me to tell you why? You about to make me defend Anthony Davis, and I don't necessarily like him because he's a flopping bitch too. But you about to make me defend him. Here's why they don't do it. Do you understand the coach all these coaches, they call their own plays, right? Or they have people to call the plays.
Right.
Andre, if you're the coach and I'm the center, and you call a play for Maxey or Zubac, and I'm supposed to be over here doing an off-ball screen, not in the paint calling for the ball, and you call the play, you're the play caller, and you call the play, and I go against your fucking coaching, and I go stand in the paint when I'm supposed to be setting an off-ball screen to free up Zubac, but I say, you know what, fuck you, Andre, I'm gonna do what I want to do. You know what's gonna happen? It's gonna look like the Miami Heat. Jimmy Butler and Eric Spoelstra ready to fight on the sidelines because Andre is going to cuss out Thomas for not doing the play that Andre called. That's why Anthony Davis has to do what the fuck LeBron wants because LeBron runs the fucking shit. If he wants to dribble the ball all night, guess what he's going to do? That bitch is going to dribble the ball all night. And Anthony Davis, you better go get your ass in the corner or you better go stand over there just like Chris Bosh, just like Kevin Love. Those guys, before they got with LeBron, Andre, you know this, before they got with LeBron, those guys had a bag in Toronto and Minnesota. They had a bag set. Their bitches could low post, they could shoot minis, they could shoot threes, they could dunk on you, they could run the fast break. They had the jab step like you're speaking about in the mid-range. This some of bitches could do everything with the basketball offensively. But when they got with LeBron, They was forced to play Ray Allen. So, but LeBron fans, you know what they did? You motherfuckers don't want the ball. Wrong. They don't want the ball because they're playing the fucking offensive system that they're in. And that's what I'm telling you. So Ty Lue and Harden, they have their ways of playing. The downfall of playing with Harden is you're going to be a lob threat only. That's the downfall. Here's the other thing. When you run pick and rolls all night, you can't post up and run a pick and roll, Andre, when you're the one supposed to be setting the screen. What you gonna do? Go stand on the block? James Harden gonna call for a screen? You just gonna look at him? Now you got turmoil in the locker room. Zubac is in the system that plays perimeter basketball. That's what Ty Lue believes in, perimeter ball. You know what else that happens in LA? They was the number 2 team before the guys got hurt. There was a number 2 team behind Boston in what we call ISO basketball. These ain't opinions. These are on Google. Go look them up. Kawhi and Paul George, everybody wanted to hate on them because they played ISO basketball. They said it never win. However, it will win because you watch fucking Boston do it as the number 1 team in the league. They was number 1 in ISO ball. Porzingis ain't get the ball on the block in Boston. Will he sometimes? Absolutely. Will Horford sometimes? Absolutely. 95% of the time, they ain't getting the fucking ball. So why are they going to post up? You got to play the system that you're in.
1 mile.
Like Embiid. You remember the game winner I cussed out Doc Rivers? Y'all should have won that fucking game. He should have posted up Embiid. But nah, Doc wants to call a fucking play, inbound the basketball to Embiid 30 foot from the basket and have a 280-pound fucking center play ISO ball with the game on the line. That wasn't Embiid's fault, Andre. And you know I defended Joel Embiid.
Thomas, I know you trying to blame the head coaches, but just admit that Zubac is just not good enough, right? He's just not that good enough. And that's why Ty Lue doesn't really feature him in the offense like that. And you just gotta go with the facts. He's a traditional big, and Ty Lue's system doesn't really feature a traditional big like that. So if he was more
let's
modern,
go to the facts then. Let's go to the facts. I'm gonna ask you a question. Last year, all centers over 200 plus touches, 7 to 9 feet from the back. No, it's 5 from 9 feet from the basket. I think is the stat. The number 1 efficiency center is scoring the ball 5 to 9 feet in the basket. Minimum stat line of 200 plus touches. Who was the number 1 center in the league efficiency wise? 5 from 9 feet from the basket, Andre.
I don't know.
Zubac.
It was not Zubac.
Okay. So do you want to call your friend BJ and ask him? And don't mention my name because he's mad at me, so he'll lie. Call him and ask him who was the most efficient center. And if he can't do it, I promise you, when I get on my 34-hour break this weekend, I bet you $1,000. I go on Google and I find this stat that I'm speaking of, and I send it to you, and you put it on your screen for your whole channel to look at.
But you know why? Because all his shots are closer to the basket. So of course, if you're shooting so close to the basket, you got to make a high percentage of your shots.
Okay, well, why don't every other center do that then? Why don't Gobert have a better? Gobert has more length than Zubac, so his percentage will be higher than Zubac. Then
Gobert was 66%, and Zubac was 65%. So Gobert was higher than Zubac. So that's a bad point, Tom.
Wrong.
How am I
Zubac
wrong?
was number. Oh, okay, do you want to bet money? Because I will find it.
I can share the screen right now. I can share the screen right now.
Okay, put it on the screen then. The only thing that's going to change is the footage of the shots. It's either 5 from 9 foot or 7 to 9 foot from the basket. Zubac was number 1. There was different categories. So whichever one.
You picking and choosing, huh? I'm talking about field percentage. Go ahead.
No. I said, again, you're not listening. I said it was 5 to 9 or 7 to 9. Did I not just say that? The whole chat knows I just said this shit. I said I'm not sure which one it is, but one or the other. If 5 to 9 foot from the rim, or was 7 from 9 foot from the rim, Zubac was number 1. Now, whichever one it was, it does not matter. It was one or the other, and I can't prove it. But here's the key. Even if he's number 1 or if he's number 2, which he's not, he's number 1 because Adam Austin had it on his show, and I saw it on his screen, so I can go find it. I know what I saw.
But even if he's number 2, do you realize that means he is extremely efficient? So if he's extremely efficient, that backs up everything I'm fucking saying. Give the man the ball. Right or wrong?
Bro, he's efficient because his shots are closer to the basket.
Oh, okay, but there's other centers in the league that are just that shoot close to
them. It's easy to guard offense. It's easy to guard offense like that, where you just dump the ball into the traditional center. It's easy to rotate off of that. And if he's not good passing from the post, guess what? You're gonna turn the ball over every single time. In the regular season, you're not going to see it.
Why does he need to pass the ball when he's shooting over the top of 98% of the centers in the league? There's only so many centers, bro. He don't play them. There's 30 fucking teams in the league.
Teams are not going to let him go one-on-one like that. They're going to rotate, and they're going to send help from the weak side to block him at the rim.
Okay, he's going to shoot over them. They're too small. Who's going to help? What you going to do, say Paul George?
Thomas, just stop. Thomas, just stop.
No, you stop. The man is elite at certain footage from the rim. He needs the ball. His own coach is telling you, I need to get the man the ball.
So why isn't Ty Lue doing it then?
Because Ty Lue is a perimeter ass coach. It's the same way if you're fighting in the NFL. If you got a head coach who loves to run the ball, aka Jim Harbaugh, it's not going to be looking too good for a fucking passing quarterback like Drew Brees to play for a running coach. You know why Drew Brees looks so fucking good? He played for Sean Payton. Sean Payton's a passing coordinator, a passing play caller. He's not a Jim Harbaugh. This shit don't mix. That's the thing. And again, I'm not saying they're going to the championship like running the offense through Zubac. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know you're not saying that. Yeah, no.
All I'm saying is it can become a better asset to the team. I'm not saying feed him the ball over Powell. I'm not saying feed him the ball over Harden. I'm saying just feed him the ball a lot more than fucking 8 or 9 field goal attempts in the game. That's all I'm saying. And if you do that, the percentages and his scoring efficiency, which you speak on a lot of times, you say, but Thomas, efficiency matters, and I say, okay, it does matter some.
And Thomas, one more thing.
Okay.
Harden is just not giving Zubac the basketball, and he's going into ISO. So you talking about this ISO this and ISO that?
I agree with it.
Okay.
I agree with it.
Okay, so why you not blaming Harden, and you trying to put all the blame on Ty Lue? Harden is the point guard. Harden is the floor general. Why isn't he doing it?
On the right.
Because Harden does not run the team. Ty Lue runs the team.
Point guard.
That's okay. All point guards have play calls that come from the sideline. You know why? The ball gets out of Harden's hands a lot. You know that, right? T-Man brings the ball up the court. Derrick Jones Jr. brings the ball up the court. A lot of people bring the ball up the court. You know why they bring the ball up the court? Because the play call comes from the sideline. We're running this set. Ball out of James Harden's hand. Go put James Harden on the side.
Thomas, one more thing. Just because they call a play doesn't mean that you're gonna. It's a guarantee that you're gonna get the basketball. It doesn't work like that all the time. Players make the plays all the time. They're broken plays all the time. So just because they call a play for somebody doesn't mean they're going to get it. So there has to be.
I understand it. But broken plays don't happen a lot. The good teams who are efficient don't.
What you mean?
They do happen, but they don't happen a lot. If they happen a lot, then the good teams. You know why the good teams win? They execute. It's a word called execution.
No, the good teams win because they have counters. They have counters to the initial plays. They have variations of counters to those variation plays. So even if the first play breaks up, right? Even if the first play breaks up, but you're not giving James Harden the blame that you should give him, and you're just trying to put it on Ty Lue. But James Harden is not getting him the ball as well.
I understand that, but guess what? James Harden also ain't been a point guard, but he ain't been a point guard for 12 months on this fucking team. Well, it's 12 months now because the season overlapped when he came early last season. But here's the thing. James Harden wasn't on the team. Zubac's been on the team 4 or 5 years. Westbrook, Harden, Reggie Jackson, John Wall. They never took the time to feed the man the ball. It's not only a James Harden deal. He's only been on the team for 12 months. This is an issue beyond James Harden. So therefore, I put more blame on Ty Lue. But I'm agreeing with you, Harden, to give him the ball more. That's not what I'm denying. However, Harden's barely been on the team. This is a lot deeper than trying to blame one guy. Also, Harden plays for a coach. The coach trumps everything, right? Just like you give Nick Nurse blame. I don't mind you giving Nick Nurse blame. I think Nick Nurse is a tad overrated because he had the best player in the NBA on his team. That's why he got the championship. So I listen to you. Now I give you hell because you always try to give me hell. So I return the favor. But I'm agreeing with you.
No, I return the favor. I return the favor.
Yeah, no, but you shouldn't. You should. Here's the thing: there's only so many coaches in the NBA that can win the championship. You know why? Because they ain't good enough. What's the man's name that won the championship?
Wait, say that again. Say that again.
There's only so many coaches in the NBA that's going to win the championship as far as X's and O's. There's also some coaches that get carried to a championship, but because the fucking player on their team, it just happens to be one of the best fucking players in the game's ever saw. They get championships like that, right? So it don't get it wrong. Another thing about the Clippers, how they play, right? They are a defensive heavy oriented team right now. So a lot of times the offense is being pushed by fast breaks, long outlets, and shit like that. That does not bode well for getting Zubac the ball either, right? So there's multiple things. But again, I'm not saying Zubac is the number one option. I'm not saying he's better than Embiid. That is the dumbest thing ever. I don't know why you said that because I would never say that. That is stupid.
No, I was talking about this. That's why when you got on the show, I said make an argument why you think he's more skilled or has better footwork. Which I still disagree.
Only low post. Basketball is a game of all varieties. He can't touch Embiid on all varieties. I would never say that. Embiid, not 90% of Embiid and Anthony Davis. Both of them guys, 90% of what the fuck they do is away from the basket with a perimeter midi jumper, a 3-point shot. If both of those guys, not one of them, if both of those guys ever decide in their career, and it's not too late because it took Golden State 7 to 8 years to become relevant in basketball. A lot of people forget that. It took them a long time to become great. Their bitch has been in the league for a long time and couldn't do nothing. They had to fire Coach Mark Jackson to get where they was at, right? So it's not too late. Embiid may wake up tomorrow and say, I'm going to become a dominant force in the paint, and AD might too. And if they ever do, the league is going to be in a world of hurt because there's hardly no answer for Embiid and AD low on the low block. The bitches are gangster. However, we all know and we all complain they spend too much time outside, right? So Embiid, most of Embiid's game is midi or outside. If he actually took the time to get in the fucking post, this wouldn't even be a conversation for me to even say. But I was only speaking on the low block. I'm not speaking on the Embiid 18-foot post up where he spins around and hits that triple threat position. That's what we call it in basketball. We call that a triple threat position. You catch, you turn, you face up, you start jabbing, you start pump faking, jabbing and pump faking. You start faking dribbles. That's called a triple threat position. Zubac can't do that. Embiid's a bad motherfucker with offense. So I'm not saying that. So that's all I was speaking on was the low post. Zubac has tremendous.
But Thomas, when we talk about post moves, it's everything. Low post, high post, mid post.
No, I spoke low post though. Post moves. That's why I narrowed it down to low post. I already know and agree with you about the word post. Post has a variety of positions, right? There's a high post, there's a low post, there's a mid-range post. There's even a fucking, if you go by Jordan and Kobe's the way they play, you could call that post extended mid-range post. They basically will post up damn near right at the 3-point line and still shoot a fadeaway. That's not a fucking mid-range post. That's not a fucking low post. That's an extended mid-range post. There's different levels to the shit. Yeah, and I'm not trying to be a smart ass. I'm just saying.
That's the pinch post.
But post moves, I agree with you, Embiid. But I was just saying low. That's why I said you got to listen to my terminology. The low block, Embiid can use both hands in a variety of shit he does. But
Thomas, I still say that Embiid has better low post moves, but just because he's not on the low post as much, it doesn't mean that Zubac has more low post moves than him. But he just because Embiid usually operates on the nail, the elbows.
Okay.
The nail, the elbows, and the 18-foot area. But just because he's not on the low post as much doesn't mean he doesn't have the moves to dominate over there. He does have the moves, like you just said.
Yeah, I didn't say he don't have the moves. I just said Zubac uses better footwork and a variety of moves than because if Embiid gets as low as Zubac, he's going straight bully mode.
But you're still saying that he has better low post moves than Embiid. That's what you're still saying.
Yeah. But because he can
that's
use,
not true.
But because he can use both hands and use them in a variety of ways. But that does not make it better than Embiid, though. That's not what I'm saying at all.
Yeah, I disagree, man. It is what it is at this point.
Yeah, I mean, we ain't gonna agree on everything. We know that. But that's the beauty of having sports debates, right? It's the beauty of discussing this stuff.
Twin Sports says, where do you guys Zubac ranked at centers in the NBA?
Oh, he's top 5 center in the NBA.
Man,
one because he's elite defensively, and 2 because he's very efficient if they give him the fucking ball in the right spot. You got to remember, all offense.
Go Bears better than Zubac.
No, Gobert's better defensively, but he don't have the. He can't. Gobert can't be featured in the offense. He can just be thrown on down lob to. That's not
Gobert's average 14, 15 points in the NBA, bro. What are you talking about?
Well, I agree with you, but he's not. You can never feature this dude in offensive sets as much as you can Zubac, and that's a fact. But hey, I got to check in, man. Good show. How's it going, man? How you doing? I got to check in on you. How you back?
All right, man.
Okay. I thought I had to make that swing in there, so that's why. I'll talk right here.
Yeah, so y'all, that was Thomas. Rap Guy Reloaded. Are we talking about the Clippers? Now, it was just, I was just recapping the game, but Thomas came in here, had some statements to make, so we had to address it. But even though we still disagree, but it is what it is. But yeah, Thomas, I think you just got to stop because if you know that Ty Lue's a perimeter-oriented coach and his offense is going to run, primarily through the perimeter, I think it's about time that you stop saying the run it through Zubac because he's just not going to do it, right? He's just not going to do it. Even though he says, yeah, I got to run the offense through Zubac, he's just trying to be politically correct, like I said, but he's not doing it. So what does that tell you? He's never going to do it. So I think Zubac should, try to dominate on the glass, get offensive rebounds, and try to score. Try to average 20 points to, average that 20. But, yeah, it was a good show. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Appreciate y'all. Shout out to TuneIn Sports. Shout out to Rap Guy Reloaded. Everybody that tuned in. My guy, One Mike. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, Zubac don't got better low post moves than Embiid. I still disagree with that. I can go check the frequency from last season's frequency and see who was really in the low post as much, right? But yeah, but I still disagree. But yeah, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Shout out to y'all that's tuning in now. Shout out to y'all that's gonna watch on the playback. Shout out to my guy JD Banks. JD Banks always be watching on the playback, so shout out to him. But appreciate y'all. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.